Okay, now I gotta move all these back. So I'm actually in the middle of filming another video right now, but I was gone for 3 weeks, and like I always do, I ordered gobs of books, just way too many books while I was gone. So I got home to everything you just saw waiting for me in my office. In my head, I can't open them unless I make one of these videos. I have like 50 or so books here, probably half of which I haven't opened yet and half of them I have. These are books that I have gotten between last video and now, like April through July. Some of these books I bought, some were gifts, some were sent to me. There's a whole mix of things. I'm gonna start with the Pango books. We're gonna start with Pango, and this time, I wasn't dumb. This time I blacked out my name and address. Oh, hi, egg. Oh, okay, bye. This time I blacked out my name and address on these so I don't have to put the blur effect over everything. You wanna help? So the very first, oh, this is not Pango. Wait. This is not Pango. Okay, so I guess actually the first two we're doing are books that authors have emailed me wanting to send over. They found me through YouTube. And so this is the first one. This is from someone named KJ Ryal. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong, KJ. He emailed me a while ago, and I haven't been home, so I haven't been able to check my PO box, but he wanted to send me his book called Warp Asylum. Let me see what he told me about in the emails. Hold on, I wanna get this right. So KJ emailed me asking if he could send me a copy of his book. I said, absolutely. He said, I'm not sure what genre Warp Asylum would fall into, but to quickly summarize, it's sort of a memoir on mental illness with elements of sci-fi and fantasy, which sounds perfect to me. Mental illness, sci-fi, and fantasy are pretty much like the main 3 topics in my life. According to the back, it seems to be about a 6-month manic episode that he went through, which led to the destruction of all the things he held most dear. My marriage, my home, my friends, every penny to my name. Whoa. He put together a book based on the apocalyptic ramblings he told in a half-psychotic state during a manic episode of bipolar disorder. This looks amazing. Thank you so much, KJ. I'm really excited to look into this. So very first is Warp Asylum by KJ Ryal. Someone in my last video said that I should stack the books up with paperbacks in one pile and hardbacks in another in order to satisfy their OCD, and I'm all for it. So, oh, we can't see it. Okay, I'm just gonna be surrounded by books by the end of it. Paperbacks are gonna go over here. No, you know what? Paperbacks might fall. Paperbacks are gonna go over here. Oh my God, everyone move. Paperbacks are gonna go over here. Hardcovers are gonna go over here. She sent me trinkets. I love trinkets. Pick Your Potion by Effany Gale. And this came to me all the way from Australia. So Effany is an author with a new short fiction collection coming out later this year. So technically, this is my first ARC I've ever received. Oh my God. Cool. Pick Your Potion is a mix of fantasy, sci-fi, and horror stories. I thought it might be especially interesting to you because you've enjoyed books like Piranesi and The Time Traveler's Wife. Several of Pick Your Potion stories have been finalists for the Aurealis Awards or shortlisted for Brave New Weird, the best new weird horror. Wow. So that's Pick Your Potion by Effany Gale, which will be coming. Let's see, do we know when it's coming out? So I can tell all you good folks. It's coming out, whoops. It's coming out September 3rd. So if you would like to support our girl Effany out in Australia, September 3rd, you can pick up Pick Your Potion. Oh, there's a letter. Effany. Effany and KJ both sent me stickers with their books, and they're like polar opposite stickers. We have a bloody hand with an eyeball in the middle, and then we have cottagecore mountain fantasy. There you go. What do you think? Oh, okay. Well, they taste good. Thank you, both of you. KJ, Effany, thank you so much for trusting me with your— Stop it! Thank you for trusting me with your books and trusting me not to let Egg eat your stickers, which I won't. And I'm really excited to get to both of these. So thank you. Also my first ARC ever! That's so cool! That's so much fun! Okay, so now we're gonna do the Pango books. The City in the City by China Mieville? China Mieville? China Mieville. Sorry, China, if I pronounced that. I pronounced it 10 different ways. I probably pronounced 9.5 of them wrong. So an inspector on an extreme crime squad is investigating the case of a murdered woman, and in order to do that he has to cross to another city, but it's not a city physically next to his own. It's like through a portal. It's a psychic boundary. He has to go through a portal to another city in order to solve this crime. So a portal detective crime novel? I don't remember ordering this, but it sounds sick. I mean, I must have found it on some list about portal fantasy stuff. So that's great. So far we have 3 paperbacks and no hardbacks. So I'm wondering if we're not gonna have equal piles here. Oh God. What is wrong with me? What? How? What? Okay, gotcha. I'm telling you, these Pango people really protect your book. Egg really likes to eat styrofoam and bubble wrap, so if any styrofoam and bubble wrap comes into my house, I need to very carefully have it wrapped up. Next is Lost in Time by A.G. Riddle. Time travel is a death sentence, literally so in the near future, where exile to the deep past is the judicial penalty for capital crimes. And Sam is marooned 201 million years ago for a murder that he had to confess to but didn't commit. On a hostile planet surrounded by dinosaurs, he's living on borrowed time. At the other end of history, Sam's daughter hasn't given up on him. Sometime, somewhere, her father is still alive. Can Adeline unknot the conspiracy that saw her family torn apart and her father banished? What will she have to do to get him back? She may be out of luck, but she's not out of time. That sounds neat. This sounds cool. Which feels obvious because I ordered this, but I've got 50 books here, so sometimes I forget what I've ordered. Next up is The Beach by Alex Garland, which I think I found this on some subreddit thread somewhere. I don't remember what I was looking at, but that sounds like what I would do. Sounds like something I would do. Richard travels to East Asia in search of an earthly utopia. In Thailand, he finds a map promising hidden beaches, clear water, and beautiful people. But what Richard discovers there changes him, and soon his personal heaven has become a terrible hell. I don't know what genre this is. I barely know what this is about. I know that it got turned into a movie with Leonardo DiCaprio, which I haven't watched. And obviously I want to read the book before I watch the movie. What genre is this? Fiction, travel, kind of a thriller, adventure? Oh, one of the top reviews is I really have no idea how to describe this book. Well, I guess we'll see. Next up is, oh my God, another layer. Another layer. What? Next up is Ascension by Nicholas Binge. An enormous snow-covered mountain has appeared in the Pacific Ocean and no one knows how to explain its existence. When Harold Tunmore, a scientist of mysterious phenomena, is contacted by a shadowy organization to help investigate, he has no idea what he and his team are getting into. The higher they ascend into the whipping cold, the less things make sense. Memories of their lives before the mountain begin to fade. Paranoia turns to violence among the crew, all while slithering ancient creatures pursue them in the snow. Still, the mystery of the mountain compels the team to its peak, where they are certain they will find answers. Have they stumbled upon the greatest scientific discovery ever known, or the seeds of their demise? Yeah, cool. This is like a sci-fi alien book? Sounds sick. And it's our first hardback. Thank you, whoever sent me these Pango books. You've also given Egg a gift. I ordered 2 from this Pango person, this lovely Pango person. The first one is A House at the Bottom of a Lake by Josh Mallerman. I have heard good things about Josh Mallerman from my favorite girl on here, Books and Lala, and I've never read one from him. And so I decided that it's probably time for me to read a Josh Mallerman book. So A House at the Bottom of a Lake seems to be about 2 17-year-olds who find a house at the bottom of a lake. Caution be damned, until being carefree becomes dangerous, for the teens must decide. Swim deeper into the house, all the while falling deeper in love, or return to the surface, to safety, to sanity. Whatever they do, they will never be able to turn their backs on what they discovered together and what they learned. Just because a house is empty doesn't mean nobody's home. Oh, it's so short. It's like 188 pages. Does that count as a novella? What's the top end of a novella? Is it 200 pages? I think so. And also in that package is My Darling Dreadful Thing by Johanna Van Veen. That's a fun last name. If the dead can wake and walk among us, how can we know what is truly real? So this girl's best friend is a ghost, and then she makes friends with a wealthy young widow, and then there are more ghosts, and then the two women fall in love, and then someone is murdered. Horror books. I'm really stocking up on horror books lately. I've become a person who reads horror. I never used to read horror books, even though I love scary movies so much. Now I have so many to read. I have such a big backlog of horror books to read, and yet I keep ordering tons more. Just so many more. It's fine. I'll be reading for the rest of my life. I don't really care. Also, I have space for the books. Can you open up? I turned my office into a library specifically so that I could fill it with books. So, well, this is maybe not the most financially responsible thing. I don't care. Oh my god, more Thank you, Pango people, for keeping my books safe. Extremely safe. Nightfall in the Garden of Deep Time by Tracy Higley. This was recommended to me by someone who told me if I love like whimsical portal fantasy, like the Wayward Children series, then I should read this book. You're invited to a timeless party in a secret garden. Expect to come back transformed. The vacant lot of weeds near Kelsey's house starts to shimmer. She stumbles into a luminous nighttime garden party. It's the key to saving her bookshop and perhaps her own mysterious origins. Okay. The Ministry of Time is the next one by Kayleigh Bradley. I have been seeing lots of people reading this book, and most of them have loved it, and I'm really excited. This woman is part of a government sect which is trying to establish whether time travel is feasible for the human body and also the fabric of space-time. She's tasked with working as a bridge, living with, assisting, and monitoring a man from 1847 who is disoriented to be living with an unmarried woman who regularly shows her calves, surrounded by outlandish concepts such as washing machines, Spotify, and the collapse of the British Empire. This sounds cute, and everyone seems to love it so much. I love my books. Ooh. Okay, we're hiding that from Egg. The Stars Too Fondly by Emily Hamilton. I think that I read about this one in my new summer releases video. Yes, I did. Cleo and her friends try to figure out why a spaceship vanished without a trace 20 years ago, and then the engine starts on its own, and they're accidentally trapped on this spaceship with a snarky hologram that has the face and attitude of the ship's missing captain, Billy. And then Cleo and Billy fall in love. So we have gay, cozy sci-fi. It's about leaving home and finding family and the galaxy-saving power of letting yourself love and be loved. I'm not a cozy fantasy girl, but maybe I'm a cozy sci-fi girl. I guess we'll see. I don't think I've ever actually read a cozy anything. I haven't read like Legends and Lattes. I haven't read any of the cozy fantasy that everyone on BookTube was reading. It just doesn't seem like it's my cup of tea. Maybe I'll force myself to read one at one point and see if that actually tracks. Maybe I'll like a cozy sci-fi. Next up is one single package from Waterstones. Wow, I did it in one go. So next up from Waterstones is a book that I'm only medium interested in. And that is Reckless by Lauren Roberts, the second book to Powerless. And it has red sprayed edges. I was not a fan of Powerless. I know so many people fell in love with it. I was not one of those people, but I started the series and so I have to finish the series. So I'm gonna read it no matter what at some point. And the first one I bought in Europe. So I got the paperback version, and in the US they're only releasing it for now in the hardback version. So I had to order it from Waterstones. Otherwise I would go crazy looking at the two different types of, you get it. Next, let's do Barnes & Noble books. The majority of these, if not all of them, I think all of them are gonna be pre-orders. So these will likely all be new releases. This is gonna get harder and harder to open books between as these get bigger. I might have made a mistake with my piles here. Why? Why? How come Waterstone's packaging ripped so easily and this was hot garbage? Chill, Egg. Okay, this is The Sky on Fire by Jen Lyons. I think I included this in a video somewhere. Yes, I did. I remember these very interesting names. Anarod just wants to live alone in the jungle, but her past is catching up with her. The cunning misfits and their frustrating dragon rider ringleader intend to spirit her away to the dragon-ruled Sky Cities, where she's the key to their plan to steal from the world's most securely guarded hoard. There's only one problem. The hoard in question belongs to the current regent, Never Animus, and she wants Anarod dead. Never Animus is the name of the big bad in this. I disagree with that name. I want the record to show I disagree with that name. Come on, come on, come on. Oh! Oh, so close. Black Tide Sun by H.M. Long. This is a sequel to a book that I have not read yet. I'm not gonna read the synopsis because it's a sequel, because spoilers, blah, blah, blah. Haven't read the first book, bought the second book. I'm stupid. Ah! Ow! This is Masquerade by Oo Sangoyomi, which I am very excited about. And it's my preferred size of hardback. Look how big The Sky on Fire is compared to this. I love a smaller hardback with a beautiful cover. Look at that baby. I did talk about this in my summer releases video. This is the one that is loosely based on the myth of Persephone, if Persephone and Hades was in 15th century West Africa, if I remember correctly. Odoto's hometown has been conquered by a warrior king. She's abducted. She's abducted by the warrior king who has chosen her to be his wife, and she has to gain the loyalties of the court in her favor or risk losing everything, including her life. Oh yeah, West Africa circa 1471. Gorgeous. Excited. Oh, this is weird. What is the point of this kind of tab? What the? Under This Forgetful Sky by Lauren Yarrow. 16-year-old Rumi has spent his entire life within the armored walls of the upper city called Saint Iago. But when rebels from the outside world infect his father with a fatal virus, Rumi escapes Santiago, desperate to find a cure. In the ruined city of Paraíso, Rumi meets 15-year-old Paz, who agrees to guide him on his journey. As they travel together, Rumi finds himself drawn to Paz, and behind her tough exterior, she begins to feel the same way. But Paz has a deadly secret. She's a spy for the same rebels who infected his father in the first place. An epic story of adventure and star-crossed love. That is a thick book. First up is Maeve Fly by C.J. Lead. Serial killing is no longer a boys' club. By day, Maeve Fly works at the happiest place in the world as everyone's favorite ice princess. By the neon glow of the Sunset Strip, Maeve haunts the dive bars with a drink in one hand and a book in another, imitating her misanthropic literary heroes. But when Gideon Green, her best friend's brother, moves to town, he awakens something dangerous within her, and the world she knows suddenly shifts beneath her feet. Untethered, Maeve ditches her discontented act and tries on a new persona, a bolder, bloodier one inspired by the pages of American Psycho. Step aside, Patrick Bateman, it's Maeve's turn with the knife. Unhinged Ladies. And then also in that box is The West Passage by Jared Pekacek, which I have finally learned how to actually pronounce. Pekacek. The West Passage, if you haven't heard me talk about this in like 3 different videos so far, I can read this description. Oh, I'm gonna put the description up there while I'm talking, because I have read this description, this synopsis, like 20 times, and I still don't have a clue what this book is gonna be about, which makes me more excited for it, because I have just been so confused. So very confused. Oh, very small font. Oh, beautiful. We have like illustrations going on inside here. Finally, from Barnes & Noble, the last one, this thick ass boy right here is The Bright Sword by Lev Grossman. Whoa. It's like close to 680 pages. That is a thick boy. This is an Arthurian fantasy, right? Yeah. It's about a guy who comes to compete for a place at the round table, and he arrives to find that pretty much everyone has died already. It's up to them to rebuild Camelot in a world that has lost its balance. Even as God abandons Britain and the fairies and old gods return, led by Morgan Le Fay, they must reclaim Excalibur and make this ruined world whole again. The Bright Sword is steeped in tradition, complete with duels and quests, battles and tournaments, magic swords and fisher kings. Holy sh**. So next is Amazon. I ordered a whole bunch of books from Amazon during Amazon's Prime days. I had a bunch of credit with them. So I got all of these books technically for free. Technically, I'm using girl math, and that's okay. these books for free. And there's a lot of them. There's 5 boxes aside from this. Sorry. First from Amazon, I got Wrong Place, Wrong Time by Gillian McAllister. I'm trying to put together a reading vlog where I force myself to read from genres that I don't usually read. I'm gonna do one for mystery thrillers and one for romance books. And I'm trying to find books with themes that I like in other genres in the hopes that I can force myself to like mystery thrillers or romance books. So I found this, which is a mystery thriller that has time travel in it. I love time travel in sci-fi books, so I'm hoping that if I read a mystery thriller with time travel, it's more likely that I will enjoy the book. So if you have any ideas for mystery thrillers or romance books that include themes you know I like already, time travel, portal, fantasy. I haven't really gone over my favorite themes on here yet. I will later on. But if there's a book that you glean that I might like based on other things I have liked, let me know. Throw a little comment down there, let me know, because I'm trying to build up a TBR for these vlogs. Thank you. Oh, right, this is about. This woman watches her 18-year-old son come home past curfew. She's watching from the window and he's walking towards a man and he's armed. And then she watches her teenage son kill a stranger right there on the street outside her house. You don't know who, you don't know why, you know your son is now in custody, his future shattered. Then she goes to sleep, wakes up, and it is yesterday. It's the day before, the murder hasn't happened yet, and so it's this mystery and she has to go through. So she time travels to try and stop her son from killing a man, which is cool, and I hope I like it. So I have 2 books that are the starts of fantasy series that are popular right now. I got The Serpent and the Wings of Night. So, why are my pages folded? Fucking Amazon, Jeff Bezos. Serpent and the Wings of Night is one of the series that I guess I'm going to start at some point. I don't know when. This might be the ugliest cover I've ever seen in my life. What is that? What is this AI bullshit in here? What is that? I see part of a snake. This is hire artists, guys, please. Hire real life artists to make real life art for your covers. I don't know if it's the author or the publishing company or what, but stop this shit. Anyway, I'm sure I'm gonna like the book. I know that it's about vampires. I don't know, it's about vampires. And then the second series starter that I got is The Heartless Hunter by Kristen Cicciarelli. Kristen Cicciarelli, which is an enemies to lovers, high stakes, witch and a witch hunter falling in love. One night runes life changes forever, blood runs in the streets. Now in the aftermath of a devastating revolution, witches have been diminished from powerful rulers to outcasts ruthlessly hunted due to their waning magic, and Rune must hide what she is. So we have a witch who spends her nights as the Crimson Moth, a witch vigilante who rescues her kind from being purged. She starts courting the handsome Gideon Sharp, who is a witch hunter, and then too late she realizes she might be falling for him. Classic enemies to lovers. Although that seems like real enemies to lovers, like actual I'm gonna kill you enemies. Hold on. Hold on. I'm gonna cry again. Someone else sent me a book. Someone else sent me a book. I'm emotional. If you didn't know, if you didn't watch my video, I forget what it's called. I can't think right now. It's like reading books subscribers sent me and crying about them. I lost my mind over the fact that 2 people chose to send me books. They sent me books. They found my Amazon list and they sent me books. Since then, I've gotten a couple more that are in the already unboxed books that I'll show you. And I'm still, this is the 5th time it's happened now and I'm still in shock. McKenna, your channel has been a breath of fresh air. Glad you are on the mend and egg hasn't built a nest out of you, ... yet. May the rest of this year treat you kinder. Can't wait for the eventual Patreon from Jonathan B. Jonathan? Jonathan? You're gonna make me cry in like 5 different ways. I teared up a little bit. I'm not letting myself full on cry on camera. It's not gonna happen. Okay. Hold on, take a second. Shisheshin has made a mistake fatal to all monsters. She's fallen in love. Shisheshin is a shapeshifter who happily resides as an amorphous lump in the swamp of a ruined manor. When her rest is interrupted by impolite monster hunters, she constructs a body fit for devouring by reabsorbing the remains of past meals, a metal chain for a backbone, borrowed bones for limbs, and a bear trap for an extra mouth. After one incident goes badly, Shisheshin's nursed back to health by Homily, a warm-hearted human who has mistaken Shisheshin for a fellow human. Homily would make an excellent co-parent, an ideal place to lay Shisheshin's eggs so their young could devour Homily from the inside out. But as they grow close, she realizes humans don't think about love that way. Shisheshin is about to confess her identity when Homily reveals that she's hunting a shape-shifting monster who supposedly cursed her family. Eating her girlfriend isn't an option. Shisheshin didn't curse anyone, but to give herself and Homily a chance at happiness, she must discover why Homily's twisted family thinks she did. And the bigger challenge remains, surviving her toxic in-laws long enough to learn to build a life with, rather than in, the love of her life. This was very high up on the list of books that I wanted to get. I cannot thank Jonathan B. enough for this, for almost making me cry on camera, and gifting me with a book that I'm very excited in, and is also probably gonna make me nervous that Egg is gonna wind up building a nest in me. May the rest of this year treat you kinder. Yeah, let's hope so. Also, can't wait for the eventual Patreon. Thank you, Jonathan. If anyone doesn't know, I'm currently sending out polls and trying to figure out how to build a Patreon so that we can have more videos and we can have longer videos and we can do things like movie nights where I just stream a movie on Discord for all of us to watch together or something. I'm open to any and all options. Like I said in my very first video, I'm a people pleaser. So I will start a Patreon and I'll do literally whatever the f you want me to do on the Patreon. Almost anything. Don't be weird. Jonathan, I'm gonna film the rest of this video and then I'm gonna go read your note over and over again and I'm gonna cry. And now I'm going to center myself so I can do the rest of this. I'm gonna shut my mind off to that for a second so I can do the rest of this without breaking apart into tiny little pieces. I'm supposed to take these boxes of books out, but Egg's big old booty is on top of them. I'm taking a video, I'll show you right now. Oh my God. That big box for this tiny book? Look at that. Why? I got Untethered Sky by Fonda Lee next. This is a novella. I love a novella. Esther's family was torn apart when a manticore killed her mother and baby brother, leaving her with nothing but her father's painful silence and a single overwhelming need to kill the monsters that took her family. Esther's path leads her to the king's royal mews, where the giant rocks of legend are flown to hunt manticores by their brave and dedicated ruckers. Paired with a fledgling rock named Zara, Esther finds purpose and acclaim by devoting herself to a calling that demands absolute sacrifice and a creature that will never return her love. The terrifying partnership between woman and rock leads Esther not only on the Empire's most dangerous manticore hunt, but on a journey of perseverance and acceptance. This is only like 150 pages. We're finally almost... Are we even? We're almost even. Okay, there's a few in this box. First up is Dandelion Wine by Ray Bradbury, which is I think it's considered a classic, but a book that I have been told is about childhood and summer. A haunting, nostalgic novel. I also have Toward Eternity by Anton Hur, which is a book that I talked about in the summer new releases video. In the future, there's a new gene therapy that eradicates cancer but also makes you immortal. This man teaches an AI how to understand poetry, and he creates a living, thinking machine. Toward Eternity explores the unexpected consequences of progress, what we really have to fear from technology in the future, and how love and the resilience of memory might survive even the end of humanity. And it has beautiful end papers in it. Look at that. And then, oh. A sweater for Egg. Hold on. Hi. One leg, two legs. Is that so nice? Look at that. Are you happy? Look at your beautiful... Are you sad? Are you sad? You don't like your sweater? Why are you so sad? The last book in this box is The Luminous Dead by Caitlin Starling, which is about a woman who lies her way into an expedition thinking that she's going to be mapping mineral deposits in caves, and instead she's kind of kidnapped by her team leader, who controls her body with drugs and withholds critical information to ensure the smooth operation of the expedition. Ghostly, mysterious, and terrifying. The cave will swallow them whole. A harrowing, merciless descent into the human psyche. This book will catch you by the ankles and drag you backwards into a terrifying and inescapable reality. Read this one with all the lights on. The creeping dread of annihilation. Okay, let's fucking go. What is this? Keep your gift as... Guys. I think that someone sent me another surprise book. I'm gonna lose it. It says, keep your gift a surprise. Unwrap your present before opening this envelope. And it's in a gift bag. I'm gonna start crying before I open it. This is the coolest thing. I cannot, before I open this, I said it before, I'm gonna say it again. I'm a broken record. I cannot believe the community that we're forming here already means that I have made friends who are willing to send me books, who are putting effort in to show care. I can't gather my thoughts and put them into words correctly right now. I am grateful, I am appreciative, I am in love with every single one of you. Okay, hold on, I know what this is. I really enjoyed this book, so keen to hear in due course what you think of it. Enjoy, from Sen. Sen, you have no idea what you've just put into motion. There are 4 authors that I have been avoiding for a very long time. And I've been avoiding them because I am intimidated by them. And because their backlist scares the shit out of me. And they are Brandon Sanderson, Stephen King, Joe Abercrombie, and Robin Hobb. I have told myself that at some point, someday, I would make a vlog where I read one book from each of those authors. One Stephen King book, one Brando Sando, a Joe Abercrombie, and a Robin Hobb book. And I would read the first book from their backlist to see what I think. And it's been like the scariest idea in my mind because I'm so intimidated by each of those authors individually, but to be reading all 4 of them is a scary thought to me. And Sen got me Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb, which is the first book that I'm supposed to read from Robin Hobb. So this means that I now have to start planning this vlog. And I now have to acquire, what is it? The First Law? The First Law, Carrie, and Mistborn, so that I can do this reading vlog. Lordy, lordy, lordy. Sen, thank you so much. Also, oh my god. I'm nervous, but thank you. Honestly, thank you, Sen, for without knowing, pushing me into this. Because I can't be such a pussy anymore about this. Everyone loves these 4 authors, and I know that I will love them as soon as I get over the hump of being such a pussy about it. Thank you, really, deeply, truly, thank you, Sen. And the last box from Amazon. Eggle, I need you to move, sweetie. I need you to move, though. Is that okay? Big boy! Why is it so big?
That's what she said!
So the last 5 books that I'll be unboxing today. The first is In the House in the Dark of the Woods by Laird Hunt. In this magical and frightening tale of colonial America, nothing is quite as it seems. A wife gone missing may in fact have fled her stifling and abusive home. The inviting splendor of new American wilderness may in fact be an orchestration by a malevolent force. Women who lack both voice and sovereignty may seek freedom at the price of damnation. Set against the eerie, dangerous world of bygone New England, In the House in the Dark of the Woods is a historical encounter unlike any you've read, and a novel you'll not soon forget. This kind of has me feeling the witch vibes, or the Vavitch vibes, which means I want to read it immediately. This is a new release called When Among Crows by Veronica Roth. Pain is Demeter's calling. His family is one in a long line of hunters who sacrifice their souls to slay monsters. Now he's tasked with a deadly mission: find the legendary witch Baba Yaga. To reach her, Demeter must ally with the ones he's sworn to kill. Pain is Allah's inheritance. A fear-eating Zamora with little left to lose, Allah awaits death from the curse she carries. When Demeter offers her a cure in exchange for her help, she has no choice but to agree. Together they must fight against time and the wrath of the Chicago underworld. But Demeter's secrets and his true motives may be the thing that actually destroys them. I was not expecting that to be set in Chicago, but that sounds sick. I also have All Systems Red by Martha Wells. It's the first book in the Murderbot series, which I have heard so much about, and I have never picked one up somehow. In a corporate-dominated spacefaring future, planetary missions must be approved and supplied by the company. Exploratory teams are accompanied by company-supplied security robots for their own safety. But in a society where contracts are awarded to the lowest bidder, safety isn't a primary concern. On a distant planet, a team of scientists are conducting surface tests, shadowed by their company-supplied bot, a self-aware sec unit that has hacked its own governor module and refers to itself as Murderbot. My camera stopped recording. My card became full at some point in the middle of that. I'm not gonna do it again. Murderbot looks great. It's a very beloved series. If it sounds good to you, look it up. Next is another novella called The Empress of Salt and Fortune by Neve Vo, which is about a handmaiden sold by her parents to the palace who wants to bend history to her will and bring down her enemies piece by piece. It's at once a feminist high fantasy and an indictment of monarchy. This is like barely 100 pages. And then the last book that I have to open is another first in a series, The Daughter of No Worlds by Carissa Broadbent. This is another well-loved fantasy series. Wow, 500 pages. She's heavy. A girl must master her magic and survive. She's forced to decide how much she's willing to trade away for revenge. Blah, 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 blah. I cannot stack this one any higher. Those were all the books that I had to open. Okay, now I have more room. Now I'm gonna talk quickly about the 30-ish books that I have gotten between April and now that I already ordered. So anything from about a month ago and earlier, before I left town, that I already opened. Oh, okay. Listen, I ordered too many books and I know it. We don't have to talk about that. I know I buy too many books. I'm aware. We all get it. I buy too many books. Blah, 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 blah. We know. It's fine. It's probably not fine. I have a problem. Whatever. All right, well, first up in these piles is a book for a very particular video idea that I have. And that is Love in the Wild by Emma Castle, which I believe is an erotic Tarzan retelling. It's not something I usually read, but like I said, it's for a very specific video idea. So it's an erotic, I don't think I need to say anything more than that. It's an erotic Tarzan retelling. This is going over here in a new stack of paperbacks. Okay. This one is 5 Broken Blades by Mai Corland. Let's try and get through these quickly. The 5 most dangerous liars in the land have been summoned to try and kill the God King June. They are called the 5 Blades. They're assassins. They've each tasted bitterness. No one can resist the sweet icy lure of vengeance. They have to forge an alliance. I am gonna try and get through these ones actually faster than I have been. The next is called I Cheerfully Refuse by Leif Enger, which has one of those stupid permanent stickers on it. That's not a sticker, it's part of the thing. I hate it. Jesus Christ. By the way, that was my battery charger, not egg or anything. It's the tale of a bereaved and pursued musician embarking under sail on a sentient Lake Superior in search of his departed, deeply beloved book-selling wife. So this man goes on a boat trip across a lake, but the lake is sentient, and there are storms and corpses rising from the warming depths, and he finds Gulliver-like challenges of life at sea and strange people everywhere he lands. This seems like a weird one, which makes me excited. I love a weird book. Also, if you have any weird book recommendations, let me know that. Next I have Elsewhere by Alexis Scheitkin, and if that's not the prettiest cover I've ever seen. Elsewhere by Alexis Scheitkin conjures a community in which girls become wives, wives become mothers, and some of them quite simply disappear. Some mothers vanish, disappearing into the clouds. It's the exquisite pain and intrinsic beauty of their lives. It sets them apart from people elsewhere and gives them meaning. So that's that. Remember, we're going through these ones faster, so I'm not not gonna do the entire synopsis. I'm just gonna do little blips, and if they sound good to you, look them up. Next is Calypso by Oliver K. Langmead. Rochelle wakes up from cryostasis to take up her role as engineer on a spaceship, but she finds the ship has been transformed into a forest populated by the original crew's descendants who revere her like a saint. So this feels a little Annihilation-y. Oh, and it's written in a very unique way. Look at that. Weird, creepy, cool. Next is The Husbands by Holly Gramazio, which I've also seen a few people read on here and love. I know what this is about. Basically, a woman, her husband comes home one day, except there's an issue. She's not married, but she's woken up into this life where she is married. And then he one day goes up and he has to do a little chore in the attic. And then a different man comes out. And it turns out this attic is magic. And every time a husband goes up there, a different one comes out. So it's like she gets to do speed dating, but the speed dates are in the midst of a relationship. Again, sounds weird. Love it. Next we have Bloom by Delilah S. Dawson. Two women who meet at a farmer's market and fall in love. As Rose's obsession with Ash consumes her, she may find she's not the one doing the devouring. Told in lush, delectable prose, this is a deliciously dark tale of passion taking an unsavory turn. Creepy. Next is Whalefall by Elizabeth O'Connor. Not to be confused with Whalefall by Daniel Kraus, which is a book I read last year and loved to death. Different Whalefall. A stunning debut novel about loss, yearning, and the dissonance and exhilaration of discovering oneself by pushing the boundaries of family and community. In 1938, a dead whale washes up on the shore of a remote island off the coast of Wales. For 18-year-old Maud, who has never left the island, it feels like both an ominous portent and a symbol of what may lie beyond the island's shores. She can't shake her growing desire to explore life beyond the island. Two English ethnographers come to hope to study the island, and it throws the isolated community into turmoil. To Maud, they offer both a glimpse of life in the outside world and a possible means of escape. There's an awakening happening within herself. Oh. This is also written in a cool way. This is like almost journal entries or poems or something. Cool. I also got An Excellent Host by Chelsea G. Summers, who wrote one of my favorite books from last year, A Certain Hunger, which is about it's signed. That's cool. I don't know if I have ever had a signed book before. This might be my first signed book. Anyway, these women invite a man to a private dinner party. As the wine begins to flow, he is ready to lose himself in the date of all dates, but what comes next might undo Shad for good. Dating goes wildly awry as ancient gods prepare to receive their due in this tantalizing update to Greek myth. Chelsea G. Summers has not written anything since A Certain Hunger, so this is thrilling to me, and it's only it's only 51 pages. I also got Born by Jeff Vandermeer. Annihilation is one of my favorite books. That's not a surprise. And it was suggested to me that I read this other book by him, Born. And so I bought it, and so I will. Seems like there's a post-apocalyptic world. This woman adopts this little half-plant, half-animal thing, and then he grows. His name is Born, the little half-plant, half-animal. He grows, and he threatens the balance of power in the post-apocalyptic city. Next, I got another book that's for the trying to make myself like genres I don't like video. And that's Into the Jungle by Erica Ferencik. I am a sucker for books or movies based in the jungle or in wilderness. South American jungle, the plains of Africa, anything like that, wilderness, jungle, savanna, anything like that, I'm a sucker for. So I thought I would try this mystery novel that is not only set in the jungle, but called Into the Jungle. This woman takes a teaching job in Bolivia that falls through. She's already down there and she meets a handsome local man who's abandoned his life to try his hand at city life. He abandoned his life in the jungle, in a remote jungle village, to try his hand at city life. But then he learns that a jaguar has killed his 4-year-old nephew. Oh my god. Then he tells Lily she can come with him back to his remote jungle village hometown with 30-foot anacondas and puppy-sized spiders. I don't understand. Is this book gonna not be good? I don't know, but I'm gonna try it. Oh my god, there are so many more to do. I'm trying to do this quickly. I'm so sorry. Next, I need to go over the books that have been sent to me that I already opened. So you guys probably already know this if you watched the video. Crush by Richard Seiken and Paradise by Fernanda Melchor were sent to me. I built a video around it to honor the lovely people who sent these to me. Crush was amazing and I loved it. It's a book of poetry by Richard Seiken. Paradise, scared my soul a little bit. It is a well-written, important book that made my soul nervous. And then since then, I had 3 other books sent to me. So, Robert, who sent me Paradise, sent me Grey Dog by Elliot Gish. He said, Ada Bird is more of a modern woman and it makes the story easier to enjoy. Anyway, I'm very happy that you are well. Love the channel. From Robert. Robert, I love you. The year is 1901 and Ada Bird accepts a teaching post in isolated Lowry Bridge, grateful for the chance to re-establish herself where no one knows her secrets. Her past has never seemed so far away. But then she begins to witness strange and grisly phenomena, a swarm of dying crickets, a self-mutilating rabbit, a malformed fawn. She soon believes that something old and beastly, which she calls the Grey Dog, is behind these visceral offerings, which both beckon and repel her. As her confusion deepens, her grip on what is real, what is delusion, and what is traumatic memory loosens. Ada takes on the wildness of the woods and begins to wonder which is more dangerous, the Grey Dog, the uncontainable power of female rage, or Ada herself. This sounds good. And then the other 2 books, which were sent to me. Hi, you put a smile on my face, so I wanted to do the same. Hope you enjoy these books and remember to rest as well. I had to add one of my fave ones, Spreading Trans Joy. All the best, Andrew. And that is Hell Followed With Us by Andrew Joseph White. The cover is hand-drawn and stunning. 16-year-old trans boy Benji is on the run from the cult that raised him, the fundamentalist sect that unleashed Armageddon and decimated the world's population. Desperately, he searches for a place where the cult can't get their hands on him, or more importantly, on the deadly bioweapon they infected him with. When Benji is rescued by a ragtag group of teens from the local Atchison LGBTQ+ center, affectionately known as the ALC, they offer him shelter as long as he can control the monster within and use his power to defend them. Their leader Nick is gorgeous, autistic, and a deadly shot, and Benji soon discovers that he has a hidden agenda and more than a few secrets of his own. This sounds intense. Wow. And the other one, Andrew also sent me. I had to get you one from your list in case you don't like the other one. Truly hope you enjoy them. All the love, Drew. And by that he means technically this wasn't on my list, it was an add-on, which is totally fine. This looks incredible. This looks amazing. But the other one that Andrew sent was The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston. And this is one of the romance books I'm going to be using for the trying to get myself to like romance by using themes from other kinds of books that I like. This is a romance, but there's time travel in it. So again, I'm hoping that time travel will help me enjoy a book in a genre that I wouldn't have otherwise wanted to pick up. I know what this is about. I think everyone knows what this is about on BookTube, but basically this girl is left an apartment by her aunt, and then she finds a man living in it, but it turns out he's 7 years in the past. So they fall in love 7 years apart from each other, and then things happen. Andrew and Robert, thank you so much. And I'm gonna have to build some more reading vlogs around your gifts. But just thank you so much. I'm not gonna cry. I'm fine. It's fine. Thank you. I love you so much. And I really still can't believe any of this. Next, I got A Sweet Sting of Salt by Rose Sutherland. It's based on The Selkie Wife. Jean hears a cry outside and discovers a young woman in labor, barely able to speak a word of English. Turns out she's the new wife of her neighbor up the road, Tobias. Her questions continue to multiply. Why has he kept his wife's pregnancy a secret? And why does her open demeanor change completely the moment she's in his presence? When the answers she finds are more harrowing than she ever could have imagined, she fears she may have endangered herself, the woman, and the baby. Will she be able to put things right and save the woman she loves before it's too late? Or will someone have to pay for Jean's actions with their life? Creepy. Whoops. I have 3 books here that I have talked about in previous videos, so I'm not gonna go over their synopses again. The Cautious Traveler's Guide to the Wastelands by Sarah Brooks, The Wren in the Holly Library by K.A. Lind, and Rakesfall by Vajra Chandrasekhara. I also have Evocation by S.T. Gibson, which is about magicians? A psychic prodigy operating under the shadow of his oppressive occultist father. When he gets into trouble and the devil has come to collect on an ancestral deal, death looms at his door. He reaches out to the only person he's ever trusted, his ex-boyfriend and secret society rival, Reese, for help. It looks like that might wind up with some polyamory in there. Here's 2 more that I've actually talked about, so I am not going to talk about them again here. But one is The Empire of Shadows by Jacqueline Benson, Jungle Adventure. And then the other is A Letter to the Luminous Deep by Sylvie Cathrall. Cozy underwater fantasy. Oh, I can group these two together. I got 2 memoirs by good women. Celine Dion, My Story, My Dream. I am obsessed with Celine Dion and I always will be. And also My Life So Far by Jane Fonda. Jane Fonda is an absolute icon in every way. Google it if you don't know what I'm talking about. Oh my God, we're almost done. 5 more. How long is this gonna be? I got The Emperor and the Endless Palace by Justinian Huang, which appears to be an erotic romantic thriller. So maybe this will count for both sides of genres I don't usually read. It's 2 people who fall in love through different lifetimes. 2 men are reborn lifetime after lifetime. They're woven together by the twists and turns of fate. As their many lives intertwine, they begin to realize the power of their undying love, a power that transcends time itself, but one that might consume them both. I also got Wounds by Nathan Ballingrud, which is a collection of horror stories. That's it, a collection of horror stories. I also got The Ferryman by Justin Cronin. The islands of Prospera lie in a vast ocean, in splendid isolation from the rest of humanity or whatever remains of it. Surrounded by sun, sea, and stars, their world is perfect, but every paradise comes at a price. When the truth behind theirs is revealed, it will end a way of life and start a revolution that will change the course of humanity itself. And it will all begin with one person hearing these simple words: the world is not the world. Penultimate book, When I'm Gone, Look for Me in the East by Quan Berry. Tasked with finding the reincarnation of a great lama, a spiritual teacher who may have been born anywhere in the vast Mongolian landscape, the young monk Chulun sets out with his identical twin Mun, who has rejected the monastic life they once shared. Their relationship will be tested on this journey through their homeland, as each possess the ability to hear the other's thoughts. Oh, strange. Finally, the last one. I'm so hungry. Knock Knock Open Wide by Neil Sharpson. A woman is driving on a pitch black road deep in the Irish countryside. She finds a corpse, which begins a night of unspeakable horror that will take her to the brink of sanity. She will never speak of it again. 2 decades later, Betty Fitzpatrick, newly arrived at college in Dublin, has already fallen in love with the Drama Society and the beautiful but troubled Aisling Mallon. As their relationship blossoms, Aisling goes to great lengths to keep Betty away from her family, especially her alcoholic mother, Etain, who is the woman who found the corpse on the road 2 decades before. But soon, Betty learns about her lover's terrifying family history and Aisling's secret obsession. Aisling has become convinced that the horrors inflicted on her family are connected to a seemingly innocent children's TV show. Everyone in Ireland watched this show in their youth, but Aisling soon discovers that no one remembers it quite the same way, and only she seems to remember its star, a small black goat puppet who lives in a box and only comes out if you don't behave. They say he's never come out, almost never. When the door between the known and unknown opens, it can never close again. This also gives me The Witch vibes with the black goat. And that is it. Hold on, let me get all these books into view. Oh my God, what have I done? What have I done? How many books is this? $63 books. 63 books in 4 months, which is basically 16 books a month, which is basically 4 books a week, which is basically 1 new book every other day. You know, I'm still gonna ride on the excuse of being sick and sad, and now I'm not sad anymore because look at all my new books that I have near me. I'm giving them a hug. I'm giving all my new books a hug. I can't be sad anymore. So it was worth it. And I'm just not gonna think about it, actually. I'm not gonna think about this. So, that's it. Thank you for being here. If you can hear my voice, if you can read the subtitles, I love you, and I hope I see you soon. So first, let's. First from Barnes & Noble. No. Is this interesting? This is probably not interesting. All right, books, book time. Hey, no, egg, egg, egg. Hey, egg. I probably won't post the fact that I just said that. I'm probably gonna cut that. Girls. Luna? Egg. Egg. Hey, egg.